Some parents can never sit their daughters down or their sons down and ask them, what's your sexual life like? You even get men of God who are involved in sex scandals. That's because such topics are deemed unclean to even mention from your mouth. Now, come to think of it, it's very troubling with the high rate of indecency in our churches, all right, in our business places, place of work, especially in churches. The high rate of crime being committed by people in certain organizations that are never informed, or these boundaries are never being highlighted in this environment. For instance, in your school, you're not being taught in the school or being re-emphasized in the school to avoid cultism, dress decently, don't drink, avoid alcohol and different kinds of addictions and sexual abuses and all. They just stick to the course outline. Stick to the course outline and it's just straight to the topic and all. You come into school, however you live your life is not their concern. But at the end of the day, when some of these crises erupt as a result of negligence of these very, very core values that we also need to find a way to inculcate into the curriculum, all right? When some of these crises occur, it is this same institution that suffers it the most, because at the end of the day, they need to call for a compulsory sudden strike and ask all students to stay back at home, or shut the school down and all, have casualties, students who are become casualties of these crises and all. Then the students' educational period is extended as a result, all right? Then let's bring it down to places of work. Maybe you work in a bank or you work in an eatery or something. It is never brought to your table or being something that is brought up that there must be decency, you have to treat everybody with respect, do not harass anyone sexually and all. It's never brought out as something very important. And that's why you see where bosses harass their junior staff, all right? Harass their junior members of staff by tapping them in various private places and harassing them sexually and the rest of them. And they always get away with it because it's not been deemed to be a very important topic or area of focus, despite being a public service environment. Now, the biggest part of them all that really troubles me the most is our churches. Growing up as a child, I never heard in a church where you have to talk to young ones about the dangers of being in a cult, or let me not just take it for growing up with a child. In most churches today, you will hardly find a pastor who would come and teach you about the dangers of being in a cult, why you shouldn't be in a cult, get involved in this and this and that. That's why I see young people who are called, they don't even have time to go to church because there's nothing to bring them out of what they practice. And pastors are shy to talk about sex on the altar because they see the topic as unclean, as unholy to talk about sex. How you should carry yourself, dress decently, do not expose your cleavages and all. As a matter of fact, that word, expose your cleavages, the pastor will be so embarrassed that the wife can even create problem at home. You are becoming carnal, my man of God. How could you come and be discussing such details in the house of God? Don't you know that you'll be corrupting the minds of the members? Say, excuse me, Mommy Gio. Better wake up from your slumber. Better wake up from your slumber. These are the reasons, the fact that you're neglecting such topics are the reasons why you have the young ones messing up the sisters in the church. And the sisters who are meant to be getting married to the brothers are friend zoning and brother zoning the young potential husbands. As a matter of fact, they start doing testing among themselves. And because you don't discuss such topics about sex and the risks involving premarital sex or even having unprotected sex, you need to educate the members. That's why you find a lot of your members in church getting pregnant. A lot of them getting pregnant every day, day in, day out. And you get rape victims amongst brethren in the church. You even get men of God who are involved in sex scandals. That's because such topics are deemed unclean to even mention from your mouth. It's plunging the church deeper into disaster. I will keep having cases every day. Whether the woman of God that is involved, or the man of God that is involved, or this daughter or the son of the man of God, or the daughter of the man of God, or the deacon in the church, or the deaconess in the church, or the choir master, or the choir member, or the keyboardist, or the drummer. There's always a high level of carnality and sexuality, a very high level, where the senses are being given higher dominance over what you are meant to operate under, operate through your spirit. And it's very bad. For centuries, these particular topics have been avoided. The fact that some pastors can't even talk about the abuse of alcohol, abuse of your relative, sexual abuse of your members, sexual harassment of people who are under you, who you are supposed to be their pastor to. Rather, we are meant to be their pastor. People are meant to be like the leader, your subordinates in the choir, and the rest of them. Yet, these are the people that you now take advantage of. And they can't speak out, because when they speak out, it's your word against theirs. And who would believe them? Who would believe them? So it's high time we started talking about these things to reduce, to curb these excesses that happens in these various institutions, both at schools, at workplaces, especially in the churches. And the one that hurts me the most is that a lot of families don't discuss such things amongst their families. Some parents can never sit their daughters down or their sons down and ask them, what's your sexual life like? Are you hypersexual? Let me teach you about the dangers involved in giving into your hormones. It's good. Those hormones will come to give you the urge to want to have sex, but this is how you deal with it. This is how you manage it. Some parents will never find themselves having such a conversation with their children. They'll say, for what? For what? As a matter of fact, when they are watching a movie together and a couple, somebody is kissing somewhere in the movie, they immediately change the channel. Or they turn off the channel. Or they say, who is there? Come on, That's the time they want to remember to say, they say, Val, please give me water, get water from the fridge. You know I'm talking about you. And some of you have experienced it. That's the reason why your child would end up being raped by your relative in the house, because she's completely unaware of these things. You've kept them in the dark for so long, and you don't want to discuss these things in details with them, especially when they start forming shapes and everything. All right, they get sexually harassed and the rest of them, and they would never tell you. Are you aware that some children who have been raped in their homes, and until they became adults and even got married, they never mentioned to their parents? Even the relative who raped them is still alive, living with you, the father. Please, I always say something: all that getting gets sense. If you want to curb things, it is not the dangers of our environment that you should curb and try to manage and water down. Then when these things erupt and the dangers start looming around, or as a matter of fact, you are living in that danger, that's when you don't start calling the name of God. Hey, Jesus, help me. Oh. Hey, Father, help me. Oh. This is the work of the devil. It wasn't the work of the devil. You were just stupidly ignorant. And that's your fault. It's high time you change. And in all that getting, get sense. I always say, get what? Get sense. There's no need packaging. When you want gas now, you go nothing to package again now. That's how you can't find who you want on package for to solve your problem. Meanwhile, you would have had sense from the beginning. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click on the notification button. My name is Valentine Agogo. I'll see you again sometime.